Excel 4. So you used formulas, you told the computer to do your averaging and totaling for you. Everything looks fine. Now you've made a copy, hopefully following directions, and you're naming this copy GPA Auto. For total, if you simply put in equals and hit every cell that it needed to add up, that's fine, that works. Likewise in D4 or D1, if you put in the total divided by 7 to get the average, that works fine too. Now it's time to use functions. Let's take this up a step. I'm going to get rid of that lengthy way to do it and simply put in a function. Off on the far left of the toolbar, some common functions. We'll put in sum. And in this case, it took a guess. Because there was a series of numbers above this function, it took a guess, and in this case, that guess is correct. It says add D5 to D11. Same answer, much more eloquent. You could do it with 7 numbers or 700 numbers just as easily. Under GPA, let's use a function for this too. Get rid of all that. Put in an equal sign and choose the average function. Now here it didn't guess because there's no numbers directly next to it. So in the parentheses, which contain all the things we want to average, just select that. Click on D5 and drag straight down to D11. Don't include D12, the total is not part of the average. So this is saying, computer, average everything from D5 to D11. And hit enter, and it does. Now that we've done this, what's the purpose of the total? Is it necessary anymore? Let's see, does it change anything? I deleted it, it didn't change the average at all. So go ahead and get rid of total and the function. You may want to pause this and do that now, and then we'll go on to a second step. Okay, the second part of this, we're going to have the computer make changes for you. Let's say the art class, instead of a C, you turned in your late assignment, it's now an A. But your GPA didn't change because the points didn't change. So now you have to manually come in and change that to a 4, and your GPA automatically changes. What I want you to do is remedy that with an automatic script. So we're going to add some labels. In the columns next to this, let's make A, B, C, D, and F. Okay, for the points, now let's go back a step. I want you to put in an if-then argument here. This is a really key part of computer programming and in spreadsheet logic. So I'm going to start with an equal sign, and I'm going to write the formula myself. If, parentheses, and the parentheses is the whole list in here. It says a logical test if it's true or not, the value if it's true, the value if it's false. So if this cell equals, and I'm going to put this in quotes because it's not a number, it's a letter that it's looking for, it has to be in quotes. If it equals A, then, that's what the comma means, give it a 4. 4 doesn't have to go in quotes because it's a number and the computer can handle numbers. Otherwise, or else, 0. And then end parentheses to finish the argument. And we see it has a 4 here. Now, if that wasn't an A, should it still have a 4? Let's try it. Let's make it a B. Yeah, now it's a 0 because this is not an A. Likewise, we'll put the same formula in here. Equals, it's easier to read in the menu bar up here, if, parentheses, this cell equals a B, then how many points is a B worth? 3. Otherwise, or else, 0. Same thing here, we'll try it one more time. If, parentheses, this cell is equal to a C, then 2 points. That's what a C is worth. Otherwise, or else, 0. So it doesn't get anything in the A column because it's not an A. It gets 3 points in the B column because it's a B, and it gets 0 points in the D column because it's not a C. So if this changes now to an A, it gets 4 points, not 3. Okay, 2 more to finish this out, and you'll see why this will make sense in a minute. If parentheses C5 is equal to D, then 1 point for a D, else 0, and the parentheses to finish the argument. Oh, plus sign doesn't mean anything, it has to be an equal. Computers are very literate, make sure you type everything exactly. And the last one in this row, if parentheses C5 equals F, then 0, else 0. Okay, so this doesn't address the first point. The 4 isn't changing here, and that's what we want to do. So to make this 4 change automatically, get rid of that, put in the formula, summarize that whole row. It would be the sum, parentheses, this whole row, end parentheses. Now, if I change this to a C, it changes to a 2. It's adding all these up. If it's a D, you get 1 point. And the GPA is changing automatically. I know this sounds like a lot of steps, but I want you to do this for all the columns and make sure that these grades change automatically and the GPA changes automatically. After you've done this, we'll talk about, there might be a simpler way to do it. This is a lot of steps, but they're fairly accessible.